I sent out uh, dozens of applications in response to newspaper ads. Again, this was the 1980s. Today, I would have been looking at internet job boards. And I actually got responses, and I had interviews, but I never got an offer. And I can see now that the challenge was I wasn't clear about what I wanted to do. So I would make it to the first or sometimes even the second round, but my uncertainty about my goals made me a less attractive candidate when compared to somebody who knew that they wanted to either be the communication officer at a local museum or write grants for a local environmental nonprofit. These were the kinds of jobs I was applying for. So I actually cashed my last unemployment check, and that takes 6 months. It was painful, and so I talked with a career services advisor at Northeastern University, agreed to see me, and she emphasized the importance of setting goals and tapping into your professional network. So I thought to myself, what do I want to do next? I wanted to stay in Boston. I wanted to work in politics and government, and I wanted to use my communication skills. So that led me to have a series of conversations with people who did that kind of work in Boston. And those conversations helped me figure out how to present myself and confirm that this was indeed a goal I wanted to chase, and I was excited about it. And it led to a position as the first public information officer for Boston's Big Dig project, which was a huge public works project in Massachusetts at the time. And in fact, was the largest public works project in America for a number of years. And I got that job after about 4 to 5 weeks of having those conversations, exploring that goal, confirming that it was indeed what I wanted. And it was a position that was never advertised. And it was a great introduction to Massachusetts politics. And people afterwards said, well, I didn't know that job was open. How did you get that job? And you would think, and it wasn't because I had great connections or I was somebody's nephew or, and people do get jobs in Massachusetts politics because they're related to somebody. But it was because I was clear about what I wanted, what I offered, and I spent time building relationships with people in the world and in the sector that I targeted. And that's how I found out about a job that was never posted. And it was also because the insights I got from those conversations helped me become a very competitive candidate. I knew what the employer needed and knew how to present myself.
And I think that's a great story. And I think there's so many interesting points that come out of that. I think this whole idea of setting goals, because I think if you are clear on what it is you're looking for, then actually I think the interviewer has this feeling of comfort that they think, okay, this guy or girl really knows what they want. They're very clear. And if I give them the job, that they will execute properly. And then it's this whole idea of understanding yourself, because sometimes people do jobs not for the right reasons. Maybe it's the money or the position or the status, but actually if you can connect the job with your values and your purpose, that makes such a difference, because then it's not actually like work. And then this whole idea of managing failure, because I think in life, so many times we have adversity. And actually, if you can figure out a way of managing failure and not being burdened by it or weighed down and just moving forward, then I think you have a huge power. Because I think so many people that have one setback and they think, oh, this isn't for me. But actually, I suppose it's like with podcasting, we send out thousands of invitations to people, and you're always hoping your top 10 guests are going to come through. Not that I'm saying you're not on the top 10, Mac, but you were right up there. but you know how it is. You're thinking, yeah. But you get rejected, and I think you just have to be thick-skinned. But you never know. Sometimes a random email or yesterday I liked somebody's who I quite liked on Twitter. I just liked one of their tweets, and I don't know this person at all. And then they start following me back. And now how random is that?